Welcome back, Aggies. My name is Professor Sterling Bone, Director of the Huntsman Pro Sales Program and a marketing professor here at the John M. Huntsman School of Business. And welcome back to Who's Hiring Aggies. I'm excited to have joining us friends from Icon Health and Fitness, right? And we're excited because Icon is one of our amazing corporate partners here at the Huntsman School. I'd like to welcome our guests. First, Sara Merrill, who is the Global Director of Social Advertising and one of our Aggie alums. Welcome back, Sara.
Thanks, Dr. Bone. I'm happy to be here.
And also to have joining us is Hailey Hansen, Global Director of Linear and Connected Television. Hailey is also a proud alum of Utah State. Welcome back, Hailey.
Thanks. I'm excited to be here as well.
And then finally, we have the Senior Marketing Manager at Icon Health and Fitness, Devin Fabricius. Welcome, Devin.
Thank you. Glad to be here with you.
So I'd like to have each of you maybe just take just a minute and share with us your story of how you arrived with Icon. And Devin, I'll have you take it first.
Oh yeah, sure. So how I arrived at Icon is I was trying to find a company that I could stay with long-term that would give me the opportunity to grow and develop as we took their capabilities and grew and developed them. I kind of wanted a mutual partnership. After interviewing with our department, I felt that that is exactly what I could find here. Beyond that, I love health and fitness. I want to make sure that everyone lives a healthy lifestyle as I believe that that leads to success in other aspects of your life. So that's kind of what led me to work at Icon Health and Fitness.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Devin. I'm glad to have you here with us, and we'll dive more into specifically what you do and the role that you're recruiting for here in a moment. Next up is Hailey. Hailey, tell us a little bit about your story.
Yeah, so for the majority of my college experience, I thought that I was going to end up moving in the route of professional sales. And halfway through my senior year, I decided that that wasn't the right path for me. It just wasn't something that I was passionate about. And, everybody enjoys different things, and that's just what I decided I wanted to move towards. And actually, Dr. Bone was the one that got me the interview with Icon. And I knew that this was a company and an industry that was growing quickly and something that I could enjoy going to work every day. That was my big thing, is that I wanted to be excited to go to work. And what I was also very excited about with Icon is that there's a ton of room to grow. It's a large company, but fresh out of college, I knew that I would be able to make a large impact, that the executives would trust me to make decisions that not many students right out of school would have the opportunity to make. And so that was something that I was really attracted to about the company. And again, like Devin, really interested in fitness and believe that everyone should live a healthy life. And I live it every day. So yeah, that was why I chose the job and company that I'm with now. So
Awesome, Hailey, and it's so good. One of the great opportunities I get to connect with our recent students, which is so fun. That Icon is certainly a company that really values their new talent and promotes very quickly. And so it's great to have all of you here. Finally, let's hear from Sara. Sara Merrill, tell us a little bit about your journey at Icon.
Yeah, so fall semester of my senior year at USU, I was looking for opportunities for employment, and I was really looking for a company where I could be a driver of change. I didn't want to be a small pawn in a big pool of other people who are driving change, which is not a problem to have lots of people driving change. But I think Icon, it is a big company, but it also really values each individual and their ability to drive change in whatever position that they're in. And so when I got connected with Icon through you, actually, Dr. Bone, and I loved it. I saw a huge opportunity for growth, and I saw growth right away. I was promoted within a month of starting, and I've seen continual growth ever since. So I've loved Icon. I love their culture. They really focus on having a family life balance, but also pushes you to drive and work really hard, which is something that I find fulfillment in. So that's why I chose Icon.
Thank you, Sara. Now, I'd like to have each of you share a little bit about the current role that you're in and the team that you manage, and maybe talk about some of the specific roles that you're recruiting for. We'll start right up with Sarah. So, Sarah, tell us a little bit about what you do on a day-to-day and what roles you're looking to recruit for.
Yeah, like you mentioned, I'm the global director of social advertising. So this was just a recent promotion, actually. And what I do is I manage social media advertising strategy for our domestic business as well as international. So what that means is if you see an ad on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest from Nordic Track or Proform or other brand, that's me spending behind it. So I decide what is most effective and I try and optimize my spend to be the best, get the best inventory of media, but also I drive a lot of change in what the messaging should be in our marketing. So yeah, I manage Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, and it's an incredible opportunity. And my team, I have 2 social media advertising specialists right now, but I am looking for a social media advertising strategist who would work right with me to lead in our strategy for our team. So that's what I'm looking for.
I'd like to dive a little bit more deeper into that here. But first, I got a little ahead of myself. A lot of our students might see Icon as they drive on 1000 West. They might think that they understand that Icon is in the business of manufacturing fitness equipment. I had the opportunity not too long ago to visit Icon's headquarters here in Logan, Utah, and see just the magnitude of marketing and sales that's happening at this facility. And so maybe, Sarah, could you just take us through kind of just an update of who is Icon? What does Icon do as a global leader in fitness equipment, and kind of what the future is for Icon?
Yeah, like you said, a lot of people have this idea that we're just manufacturing treadmills, but really the company is moving towards content creation. So we have a subscription called iFit, and there are thousands of workouts filmed all around the globe where you can follow along on your treadmill or your rower, elliptical, bike, etc. And so we're moving more towards a subscription-based company where you can also buy, obviously, the equipment, but that's the goal. So a lot of really exciting things, a lot of innovation. It's not just a piece of equipment, it's connected equipment to really exciting content. So lots of marketing and sales opportunities. I think where we're seeing a lot of growth within the company is within those departments. So I think it's a really exciting place to be right now.
Perfect. That's a great overview. Hailey, tell us a little bit about your role and what you do on a day-to-day basis and kind of the types of people that you're trying to build around you as a team.
Yeah, so I used to be Sarah's paid media strategist, and I also managed OTT. I think a couple months into my position, we realized that OTT was a lot bigger opportunity than it was when I started. So anyway, I built out those platforms and ended up becoming the manager of just connected TV and OTT. And now I am expanding internationally. So I'm starting up a UK account or accounts for all of the platforms that I manage. So if any of you guys don't know what OTT and connected TV is, it's platforms like Roku, Amazon Prime TV, Hulu, everything like that. So it's for the cord cutters. And anyway, I run all of the advertising on that. And yeah, just expanding. I'm also beginning to help out with our linear TV in the US and expanding that internationally as well. So currently I don't have a team. It's just me. This is a new role for me. And so I'm just trying to get a handle on everything and build out all of my accounts, domestic and internationally. And then we'll be hiring probably in a few months. I'm assuming it just depends the workload. So, but I am looking for somebody now. I think it would be good to get that process started. And yeah, I think I don't know if Sarah touched on this, but I'm just looking for somebody that will be able to um, be extremely on top of things, that I don't have to ask to do things. They'll just pick it up, and um, a real go-getter, somebody who's passionate about the advertising space, who's passionate about fitness, who I can trust to do things without making mistakes and things like that. So we're really excited, and I'm excited to build out my team in my new role.
Thank you, Hailey. For us professors that don't know linear TV, we're not nearly as current. Tell me what linear TV is and help us with that.
Yeah, linear is just normal TV advertising. So for people that are connected to.
So for us non-cable cutters, that's where I see Nordic Track and Proform on my satellite network. So awesome.
Yeah,
That's great. No, that's perfect. Hey, thank you, Hailey. Devin, talk about your role as senior marketing manager. What do you do? What are you looking for in terms of building your team?
Yeah, I would love to. So my my main focus is managing the strategy as well as the growth of multiple channels. So I specifically work with paid search advertising. That would be, the ads that you see in search engines above your organic listings. I also deal with display advertising, kind of the banner ads that you see across the internet outside of social media. Also working with streaming audio as well as direct mailers. So a lot of different channels that I am kind of over, and typically we're just trying to make sure that they're not just maintaining what they're doing, but that they're growing. It's very important for us as a department to find growth in order to continually beat our goals each year. So I think that that's one of the most exciting things for me, is trying to explore new avenues. Both direct mailers and streaming audio are new to us. We've launched them within about the last 6 months. And so it's been fun to be a part of the development and the growth of these channels. So that's kind of my main focus. Currently, I have one member of my team who helps me with the display advertising, but definitely looking to grow the team as our responsibilities continue to grow as well. Specifically at this time, I'm looking for a paid search marketing strategist who could step in and immediately help me with our paid search advertising. Much like what Hailey said, I'm looking for someone who I can trust to just jump in and take this over. Looking for someone who is dedicated, who's motivated, and someone who loves marketing. So that's really exciting for me to find someone who can help with that, and to give them the opportunity to grow as Hailey and Sarah and myself have experienced here at Icon.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Devin. And I'd like to kind of unpack a little bit, just as Hailey was talking about kind of some of the attributes of those kind of individuals. And as you mentioned too, Devin, just this, being able to be autonomous and be able to take on a challenge and be, innovative through that process of figuring out what needs to be done. What are some other kind of skills, requirements, qualifications, just advice that you would offer students as they're seeking opportunities within Icon in these type of roles? And I'll start with you again, Devin. We'll just kind of go back through. So,
of course. What I've noticed in my experience as I've looked to hire people and as I've talked with individuals, when people have got some knowledge and experience in digital marketing, it's a big plus. Specifically with students in the Huntsman School, I would recommend looking for internships and opportunities to become familiar with this type of advertising. When I got hired on, what was told to me is you don't really get the experience unless you're running these types of campaigns. And I fully agree with that. So one of the things that I look for and that I would recommend is just to have some experience in this space, whether that's through internships or also getting some certifications. As far as other kind of qualities or experience that I'm looking for, individuals who have got experience with data analytics, with running Google Analytics or other platforms that help them to interpret data has been very helpful. And those are some of kind of the more high-end or major ones that I'm looking for. I'm sure Sarah and Hailey will have some great things to add to that.
Thanks, Devin. Hailey, what additional things would you add for your team and what you're looking for?
Yeah, much like Devin, I want somebody who's familiar with the space. So I think we're all familiar with TV and CTV advertising on a consumer side of things, but on the back end, it gets a little complicated, as all of us can attest to. So somebody who understands media buying would be extremely beneficial. But for me, I think the biggest thing is Sara, Devin, and I are all so busy all the time. We have so many different projects running and so many meetings. And so the biggest thing I think, and that we can all say that we're looking for, is somebody who you can give a project or a tiny bit of direction to, and they'll just dive into it, and will be somebody who will almost try to answer their own questions. So I'm not going to have to answer 15 questions about how to complete one task. Obviously, questions are great, but somebody who I can say, hey, will you research this new platform? And they come back to me with a list of data, cost, audience sizes, things like that. I think that would be extremely beneficial to have. But for anyone looking for a job, I think that that's a great quality to start developing, is just somebody who, again, is a self-starter, who your manager can give you a task and that you'll go kind of the extra mile and make sure that you're covering all your bases, because to all of us, it's extremely impressive to see that. So
That's great advice. Thank you, Hailey, for sharing that. Sara, what else would you add in terms of kind of the dream hire, what they would have in terms of qualifications?
Yeah, I mean, everything that Devin and Hailey said, 100%. I think the ability to be thorough and detail oriented is incredibly important. I mean, we're managing multi-million-dollar budgets on a weekly or monthly basis, and to not have a detail-oriented person is rather difficult, because mistakes, when they are made, they're made on huge budgets, and there are consequences for that. So to be able for me to trust in someone that they are really detail-oriented and thorough with their work is incredibly important to me, so that I can trust them. But also, I think a lot of students, when they're in college, they get into this mode where, like, what do I need to do to get an A? Or what are the exact parameters of this specific project or assignment? And then they take that on into the workforce, and that is not really realistic. If I were to give a project to a team member and I get a billion questions on what the exact parameters are of the project, it's almost easier for me to take on the project myself. So really being able to take initiative, research things that you don't know, and then come with a solution to your manager of all the different avenues that we could take as a company. I think that takes in, like, being a self-starter, being willing to do research on your own, and then being comfortable with the unknown, because we don't know everything. Hailey, Devin, and I, we're always trying to figure out what the next best thing is. So being able and willing to figure that on your own is something really valuable for me. And then just the ability to analyze data and look at multiple metrics at the same time, not having an all or nothing type of thinking and basing all of your decision making on one metric. So having an understanding on how data works is also really important.
Wow, so this is an exciting, you've been very transparent in sharing some of the things that you look for. I hope that our Aggies tuning in will take advantage of learning these skills, even outside of the classroom, and getting involved in internships and projects and certifications has been mentioned. So this is so very insightful. Even as a professor, I'm learning things that I need to sharpen up so that I can have, you know, that opportunity to help train students in these areas. So this is very, very helpful for me. Finally, how can we connect? How can students that are interested in being part of your teams reach out and connect? Sara?
I think the best thing for me is LinkedIn. Just sending me a message on LinkedIn would be most beneficial, because I do have a very crowded inbox. So yeah, I I think I'm just known as Sarah Dent on LinkedIn, and I'll give you my contact information, Sterling. But yeah, just send me a quick message. Tell me that you're interested in the position that I'm hiring for. Tell me what qualifications you have. And once I have my job description up on our Icon website, I'll send the information over.
Thank you, Sarah. Hailey, how to reach out?
Exactly what Sarah said. LinkedIn is the best way, and I'm sure we'll all be posting. Devin probably already has a job listing up, but Sarah and I are working on that. So as soon as we get that up, we will contact those people that have reached out to us about interviewing.
Perfect. And Devin, let me guess, LinkedIn. Is there other channels besides LinkedIn for them to connect to you?
Yeah, you nailed it. LinkedIn would be great. I do actually have a posting up as well. So if they'd like to visit the Icon website and apply for the position, it's currently called the, it's called the Paid Search Marketing Strategist. So that's the title of the position they could apply for.
This is fantastic. So I'm excited for our Aggies, excited for you all as incredible business superstars in the space of growing up in this area and really being a transformative agent of change for Icon as they build out their future in sales and marketing. Thank you all for being here, Sarah, Hailey, and Devin. And I encourage our Aggies to reach out and connect on LinkedIn. Thank you for being here.